Smoker versus Crocodile is a matchup that I genuinely thought was going to happen in Alabasta since Smoker was in that arc, but that never happened, and so I thought to myself, okay, well maybe they'll scrap at MarineFord. But instead they just had their own separate interactions with Luffy, and so it got me thinking, what if these two actually fought each other? What would have happened and who would have won? Both are drippy, both are smokers, and both have Logia Type Devil Fruits. Let's talk about it. For the first round, we'll cover what if they fought at MarineFord, and then do a second round where I'll just be talking about solely post-time skip smoker. Be sure to also comment down below other versus battles you would like me to do in the near future, as I love making these. Now let's just get right into the video with the first character I'll be covering being Crocodile. Now, I think the first thing we have to mention when talking about Crocodile is his battles with Luffy, since a lot of people like to say, oh, he just lost to a really early Luffy, he's fodder. But we have to acknowledge that round 1 and 2, he literally won, and round 3, he technically won, but Luffy just went on and got stronger. Luffy, in his final fight with Crocodile, states multiple times that he's going to surpass him, and Crocodile is just questioning the more and more he's saying this and getting enraged about his friends, how Luffy even has that much power left, and Luffy by the end of the fight would go on to overpower Crocodile's strongest attack that he originally needed to dodge. However, we have to understand as well that Crocodile should be weakened too, since not only did he take some damage from his second fight with Luffy due to him getting caught off guard, but in the third fight he was just throwing hands with Luffy in order to get the poison off, so he was exerting himself. Now after this, Crocodile doesn't really do anything again until MarineFord, where we actually see him clash with Mihawk along with Doflamingo, and pull off other feats such as react to a Kainu to save Jinbei, tanked an off-guarded blow from Jozu, and even Gear 2 Luffy. Now initially, it seems like Crocodile would have a pretty big advantage since he's having all these feats, right? However, I will say there is some context to some of them. You see, Jozu isn't really that strong and people like to gas him up because he tanked that blow from Mihawk that he was going to throw at Whitebeard. However, an easy debunk to this is proving that when you intercept Mihawk's slashes, they're actually weaker than what they're intended to be. If that makes any sense. For example, Mr. 1 intercepted an attack that Mihawk was throwing at Luffy perfectly fine, but then when he tried fighting Mihawk just immediately one-shotted him. And so since this applies towards Jozu, this means Jozu off-guarding Crocodile really doesn't mean anything, and Crocodile's feat of intercepting Mihawk wouldn't be that impressive because it would just scale to not really Mihawk's full powered attack or the hypothetical damage he would be outputting if it hit the intended target. And I know a lot of people, when power scaling Crocodile, love bringing up this feat. Scaling to pre-time skip Doflamingo literally means nothing because he does nothing. All he does is break Oars Jr.'s leg and reacts to Jozu. That's literally all he does, and we can't prove if he got weaker or stronger over the 2-year gap, so I think we should just consider them two different versions, since one version's best feat is clashing with Crocodile evenly, but then the second version is, well, I'm not even going to get into that, you guys already know the difference. And for what Crocodile does scale to consistently, it doesn't really make any sense for Doflamingo to be even comparable to his post-time skip self and clashing with Crocodile. And if he is, then he's definitely holding back. However, I will say there is one feat that Crocodile has that's kind of valid, and that is taking a Gear 2 kick to the face. He does this when trying to rush at Whitebeard, guns blazing, but then Luffy comes in to save him, and Crocodile is perfectly fine from this. Fun fact, in the anime version, he actually reacts to Luffy. Sadly, this is anime only, however, so his best speed feats are literally like scaling to pre-time skip Luffy, which is a little depressing, but we'll just give him the feat of reacting to Gear 2 Luffy anyway, but you'll see why exactly it doesn't make a difference. Now, before I move on to Smoker, let me briefly go over Crocodile's abilities, which is to turn into sand. Can't touch Crocodile unless you have hockey, water, or just have a lot of blood so you can use it as armor. And if Crocodile's given the opportunity, he could one-shot Smoker by draining his life and turning him into sand, which is what Crocodile does to Luffy in their second fight, turning him into a Minecraft skeleton. He also has that poisonous hook, which if it does connect, then Smoker is also done because it's poison, and he's shown zero resistance towards that. And that's about it for Crocodile's main abilities. The abilities that I didn't mention, it's just varied sand attacks. So it's like sand will come from the ground, or sand tornado, or an even bigger sand tornado. Stuff that I really don't have to mention. Now we can leave the Crocodile section alone and transition into the goat section, Smoker. Luckily for me, Smoker's feats are way more cut and dry than Crocodile's, since he only has like 3 3 fights in pre-time skip. He has his first fight with Luffy, his fight with Ace, and then his second fight with Luffy. Now in his fight with Luffy, he just completely pooped on him. It wasn't even fair. However, we didn't really get to see what Smoker was truly capable of. And in his fight with Ace, they were just basically stalling each other out, since Ace was fire and Smoker was smoke. And Ace's main goal was to basically just get Smoker off of the Straw Hats. However, in his third fight, he actually does pull some pretty impressive feats off. Like for example, in the anime, he's able to tag and pin down Gear 2 Luffy, but in the manga, it's just base form. However, this is still very impressive for Smoker because this is MarineFord Luffy and not like early East Blue or Alabasta Luffy. And if we're going with the anime version, which just seems to buff up not only Smoker but Crocodile too, then we'll say Smoker is above Gear 2 Luffy. Future Ty Learn here. It's currently 2 in the morning and I'm editing this video, and before I was about to go to bed, I realized this slight mess-up. In the manga, they don't show the visuals for Gear 2, but you can see Luffy using a Gear 2 attack on Smoker. So he is actually using Gear 2 against him in the manga. I'm sorry guys, I'm too tired for this. Forgive me, man. Don't bully me in the comments, but yeah, I just wanted to correct that. Enjoy! Now, Smoker's powers, he just turns into smoke, and he also has his Sea Prism weapon that allows him to basically neg Devil Fruit powers, or give him a massive advantage when fighting Devil Fruit users. And for post-time skip, he's just a stronger Smoker with Haki. Now let's get into the battle itself. In MarineFord, I think these two would eye each other down. Crocodile is for sure going to try and attack the ground, turning him into sand, and this is where Smoker would turn his whole body into smoke to counteract it, moving in towards Crocodile. It is at that point Crocodile goes for his own attack with his hook, but we see as soon as they clash, Crocodile's powers begin to fade thanks to Smoker's weapon counteracting his Devil Fruit. This allows Smoker to simply pin Crocodile down similarly to how he did to Luffy in MarineFord, and the GOAT Mr. 1 is probably going to have to come in and save the boy Crocodile to keep the timeline safe. Because if this battle went down in MarineFord, Smoker is killing Crocodile. No hesitation. Even if we give them both their best scaling, which is in the anime, all Crocodile does is react to Gear 2 Luffy, who Smoker pins down. So they should at least be relative in speed, with Smoker having the advantage, and not to mention this weapon that just allows him to neg Crocodile's Devil Fruit, while Crocodile, a non-Haki user, is just trying to throw sand at a body of smoke. You can already guess for yourselves that Crocodile is going to be pretty down bad in this fight, and he would probably die. In conclusion, Smoker is smoking on that Crocodile pack.